No, Mikey can't take
They're talking, trying to make Mikey versus Terence right here. You see behind me, Robert.
You seen him get dropped.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? Well, it looks like the same thing that happened to Errol Spence is now starting to happen to Terence Crawford. Because Terence Crawford, he went from having no options to having all the options. Because about 2 years ago, all of these fighters had no interest in facing Terence Crawford. Now you got Shawn Porter calling him out. You got Keith Thurman calling him out. And more recently, Mikey has just thrown his bid in. And so there's no confusion. You guys, the clip that I played, once again, that was 2 years ago. You see Terence Crawford telling Robert Garcia, Mikey's brother, that he would knock him out. And now there's at least a chance for us to see if Terence Crawford is right when it comes to his prediction. Because Mikey Garcia, he just recently did an interview and he said if Terence Crawford leaves Bob Arum, he would be interested in that fight. Now, I want to make it clear though, it wasn't some aggressive call out. He just basically said, you know, if he leaves Top Rank, that's a good fight. He kept saying that's a good fight. He would love that fight. And I'm gonna tell you guys something right now. There are only 3 types of fighters that is willing to get in the ring with almost anyone. Some of the most dangerous fighters in the sport. And the 3 people that are usually willing to put it all on the line are fighters that have lost their undefeated record. They lost their O. And the reason is simple, because they were trying to protect that undefeated record. But once they lose it, they feel like, what else do I have to lose now? I can give you many examples, but let's just use Thurman. When Thurman lost to Manny Pacquiao, all of a sudden now he's willing to fight everyone. Before he lost to Pacquiao, he had 0 interest in facing Errol Spence or Terence Crawford. Now he's sounding like he seriously wants to get in the ring with them. Also, it's because obviously fighters want to get back to that status of being on the top of the division or the sport. And then the second type of fighter is a fighter that has lost pound for pound status. He was all the way at the top, right? All of a sudden he loses, he gets knocked all the way down to the bottom 10 or out of the top 10 when it comes to pound for pound. And once again, most fighters in that situation, they desperately want to get back in that position. And then last but not least, you have the third type of fighter. Now this type of fighter is that undefeated special fighter that just completely believes in his ability. And he's willing to call out all of the dangerous fighters. He's not waiting for 3 or 5 years, he wants them now. Fighters like Pernell Whitaker, James Toney, Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather, and Devin Haney come to mind when it comes to those type of fighters. We know when it comes to the Super 4 with Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Gervonta Tank Davis, and Ryan Garcia. Devin Haney is the only one out of those 4 that has called out all of them and was serious about it. And don't forget, he's the one that originally called out Lomachenko when Lomachenko actually vacated his belt to avoid Devin Haney. Okay, so those are usually the 3 type of fighters in the sport of boxing that are willing to put it all on the line. With that being said, once again, Terence Crawford, he has a lot of options. I would love to see Terence Crawford versus Mikey Garcia. For those of you guys who don't know, Terence Crawford, he beat Mikey Garcia in the amateurs. And the fact that Mikey Garcia just beat a Jesse Vargas, who was actually bigger than Errol Spence, proves that he didn't lose to Errol Spence because of size. And he could definitely, or he is definitely, fighting at a comfortable weight class at 147. We also know that's the case because if he wasn't comfortable at 147, he would have moved down to 140 or 135 immediately after he lost to Errol Spence, just like Guillermo Rigondeaux moved all the way back down 2 weight classes after he lost to Lomachenko. So the fact that we know that Mikey is comfortable at 147 is why I would love to see Crawford versus Mikey Garcia. But the fight that needs to happen before a Mikey Garcia fight would be Crawford versus Porter, because now Shawn Porter is Crawford's mandatory. So I think that's most likely going to be the next fight for Crawford. But if for whatever reason that fight doesn't happen, I would love to see Crawford versus Mikey Garcia. I would also like to see Mikey Garcia versus Keith Thurman. And I wouldn't be surprised if Mikey Garcia wins that fight. That's actually the same thing I said before Keith Thurman lost to Manny Pacquiao, by the way. Another good fight would be Mikey Garcia versus Danny Garcia. Since Danny Garcia was saying that Mikey had only lost to Errol Spence because he was so small, it would be really interesting to see if Danny would be able to completely dominate Mikey Garcia the way Errol Spence was able to do. Because once again, we know Jesse Vargas couldn't do it. So anyway, we'll see what Terence Crawford decides to do. I'm thinking we'll probably hear some big news from Terence Crawford within the next couple of weeks. I'll keep you guys posted. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. Listen, I'm telling you guys right now, in the world that we live in today, one of the most important things in life to have is a good lawyer. And I can vouch for this one right here, because this brother is my personal lawyer. So if you need any type of legal representation, if you need legal advice, if you're having problems on YouTube, on your regular job, or whatever it is, contact lawyer, mediator, and business consultant Issa Israel's law firm. I've been knowing this man for a while, and he has been a true blessing to me. I'm telling you, he's affordable, he will work with you, but most importantly, he's not going to just treat you like a customer. He will have your best interest. So to get in contact with him, go to iilawfirm.com or consultsglobal.com. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, then this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called Elo Deki Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to elodeki.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram.